Hello and welcome to the first ever Game Club. As you can see, there's only me and Triangle Face, so someone has had a trouser accident. So, Ollie, I hope you get well soon.
Year.
So yeah, so
it's for extra trouser accidents.
It is extra trouser accidents.
I'm getting
me and Triangle Face tonight. Oh yeah,
have you still got music player?
Yeah, I turned it on.
I thought that was the thing that was coming from the other screen.
And some fake applause.
Fake applause. Excellent stuff. Shall we say hello to the chat before we get stuck in?
Yes, go on then. You can do that.
I'll do that. I've had to move my mouse down here because I've got my beer in front of me.
How big is that pint glass?
This is my quack glass. There you go. Look at that.
No.
It's a quack.
Looks like you're doing some sort of chemical experiment.
It is. That is a if you've never had quack before, Belgium.
No, I haven't.
Comes served in these sort of funky glasses. I got that from Bruges. So first tangent of the night. We've got Mr. Taylor.
Hello Rob. How you doing?
And we've got Mr. Craddock. Actually, Nick was one of the people that first suggested us doing something like this. So thank you, Nick, for the suggestion.
Yes, thank you,
It
Nick.
is now materialised into this. We have Toxo, something less boring. Welcome. And of course, we have Mr. Dave Newland Music, who did the music for the show tonight, as many of our others. I'm just going to scroll down a bit. That's me. You don't need to say hello to me. We've got Colin Brown. Good to see you, Colin.
Hello, Colin. You all right?
And I think that's everybody. I think we've got a couple of other lurkers. But good. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Hopefully, we should have a good chat about this game.
So, Game Club. What is it, Tim? How did it get started?
Is Game Club? Game Club is like a book club, but with games. So that's pretty much it. So if you're part of the Facebook group, we will post in there when we're doing a new game, and you guys play along. And also, you're welcome to chat about it.
That way, there's a QR code that will take you straight to all our stuff.
Indeed. So come and join us, and we'll announce the next Game Club game later on in the show. So stick around and see what the next game's going to be.
Yeah. So what it is we then put it into the group. The one with the most votes then gets picked, and that's basically what happened. So I've got a little intro of the first game we're going to be talking about, and that is Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. Recently released as a double pack on the Evercade. Yeah, as Tim is showing here.
So I'm showcasing.
Does that say Peggy? What does that say? Peggy 16. What's that?
Peggy 12, USK 16. It says there. I never noticed that before. Where's my camera? So it's got Peggy 12.
16. I don't remember seeing that.
So that's got a little book as well.
Nice instruction manual.
Yes.
So, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver is a 1999 action-adventure video game developed by Crystal Dynamics and published by Eidos Interactive for the PlayStation and Windows. A port to the Dreamcast was released in 2000, serving as Nixie's first project, the second game in the Legacy of Kain series. Blood Omen was the first one, then it was Legacy of Kain, and then soon after was Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 2. That's direct sequel. The game was released in North America on the PlayStation 16th of August 1999, and we didn't get it over here. We got it like a couple of weeks later on September the 3rd 1999. Windows September the 10th 99. In the UK we got it on the 18th 99, and then Dreamcast, it was released on the 25th of January 2000, and we didn't get it in the UK until February the 25th of 2000. So, bit of background: it's a game that came out in 1999. First of all, for the first topic we've got here is the first advert and impressions of the game. So,
I only saw this just now before we went live, and I was like, crikey, the 90s gaming advertising had no chill at all. But let's see what you guys think of this. This was nuts.
This is the trailer that I found online for Soul Reaver. Let me add it to stage and get it playing.
It's my bath time. There's nothing I like more than a good, warm, cozy bath. In fact, I think I'll just turn this heater up a little bit.
What a bonehead. But at least he got to keep his soul. Introducing a world where you take more than life. You take the Soul Reaver.
Wow. First impressions to that advert. Oh, jeez. Oh. Who in the marketing team was like, do you know what will make people want to buy the Soul Reaver game? Oh, perhaps some in-game footage, some trailers about the story. No, a man dying in a bathtub. Well done.
Yeah, and there wasn't really much actual gameplay footage on that, was there at all?
No.
So
Was it don't just die, lose your soul? I was like, okay, chill out. Yeah.
So yeah, so first impressions when you first saw the trailer, well, when you first saw the box art, which I'm going to bring up now, what were your first impressions when you saw it?
So when I first saw it years ago, I did think it looked really cool, and I'd not played any of the Legacy of Kain games. And I always thought it looked like a really cool game. I really liked the character design of Raziel, and I really wanted to play it. I thought it looked like a really cool game. But back then, I just couldn't really afford to buy lots of different games, and it's just one of those ones that was on my wish list I just never got. And then when it came out on Evercade, I picked it up, and it was in my Evercade collection, sitting there collecting dust. I hadn't picked it up yet. I did try Blood Omen Legacy of Kain, so I played a little bit of that. And then when we started doing Game Club, we included a few Evercade titles because we know a lot of the group have got Evercades, and that was the one that won the vote. So it's like, great, that's my opportunity to play this game finally. Then, so I've actually been waiting to play this game like since it first came out, and I just never got around to it. So this is like attacking the backlog finally after a long wait. First impressions of it, I think it looks like a really cool game. I really like the art style and the setting and the music, like that setup at the beginning, that first intro cutscene. I always thought was really cool, and the premise for the game sets up really nicely. Good first impressions. But what about yourself? Did you play it back in the day, or is this the first time for you as well? Have you played it before?
Yeah, so I ended up I had this on Dreamcast vaguely, and then I had a should we say backup copy on my PlayStation. That was where my brother used to work at Blockbusters, hence the theme of this. I used to have pretty much every game, and I didn't, to be honest, I didn't really play it. I didn't really didn't really get into it too much. So my first impressions was it looked great. The fact you can suck up souls and all that kind of stuff, I thought this looks fantastic. When I actually played it, sat down and played it, I was a bit like, on to the next backup. I didn't really give it the time. So what I ended up doing is for Game Club, I ended up picking up the remaster because the HD remasters of 1 and 2 has just come out, and I ended up picking up both of them for about £4 on my Steam Deck. So that is how I played it, and I showed in our group a couple of times. You can, by clicking the analog, it flips between the 32-bit and then the reimagining HD version of it. And yeah, it's quite. I just played a bit, kept flicking between both, and but my first impressions of it back in the day, it wasn't great. But then after actually playing it, my first impressions were wasn't. Like the beginning bit wasn't as bad as I'd remembered. I remember I just kind of like got lost and then just gave up. But yeah, I got it from the magazines as well. Yeah.
I just, while you're talking, I just looked up what other games were out that year. So 1999 was like a really solid year for games. So I'm looking at it now. I'm really not surprised that I didn't pick this one up. Because same year we got Silent Hill, Resident Evil 3. Yeah. We also had Soul Calibur, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, over to get over here, Final Fantasy 8, Chrono Cross, Heroes of Might and Magic 3, Driver, Crazy Taxi, Donkey Kong 64, Super Smash Brothers, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Pokemon Gold and Silver. So it had a lot of competition that year. Lot of competition that year. So I think at the time it would have been like all over like Super Smash Brothers and Final Fantasy 8, not Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. So. But we got there in the end. Finally got a chance to play it.
Yeah, I didn't realise there was that much. I didn't realise there was that much out at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just according to an AI search.
Okay, so from that, I'm going to go into gameplay, mechanics, and design. So, how would you find? How were you finding these three when you first started playing it? And what are you doing at the time to find some footage.
Yeah, find some interesting stuff. And also in the chat, let us know your thoughts as well. So join in. If you've been playing this game with us over the past few weeks, then chime in with your feedback. And we have posted a link in the chat if you just want to jump on and join us, because this is going to be a casual, laid-back stream where we're just chatting about games. Mechanics. Things I like, first off, I really like that the killing the enemies is not just straight up hitting them, just killing them. There's all little mechanics to like throw them up on the spikes or impale them with the spears and stuff, or throw them in water or get them in sunlight. So that kind of makes it a bit more interesting. But after a while, I actually found it a bit annoying. I was like, I've got to pick this guy up and carry him towards the spike and throw him and do this sort of stuff. But I like the idea of that they tried to make killing enemies a little bit more interactive and interesting. I think the main mechanic of the game is shifting through the astral plane and like going through, and that's how you're doing a lot of the puzzles. That's kind of like the main feature of the game, I think, for the most part. The only thing that I feel lets this game down quite a lot is that design of the level layouts. And my biggest bugbear of the whole thing is there's no map or compass. And I just felt like I wasted so much time just wandering around, not knowing what to do or where to go and getting lost. I was like, if this just had like a little mini map, or like if you go to a mini map and see where your objective was, and you could like, weave yourself around to that area, like something like how Devil May Cry works. You can go on the map, can't you? You can see where you're supposed to go, or like in Fable, you can bring up the thing and it has the trail that shows you what you're supposed to go towards. But this had nothing like that. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So it got a bit too lost. So yeah, kind of loses points for that from a design point of view. But gameplay mechanics, I actually think were pretty great. I liked, collecting the different abilities from bosses as well. So it's a bit hit and miss. But unfortunately, I just think that lack of a map just did it so much of a disservice for me. That really bothered me. How about yourself? We've got some comments in the chat again.
Yeah. So just what I've
just got with Tomb Raider engine.
So yeah, I've just got
yeah.
Yeah, so I just got our friends. This is his gameplay footage. Friend of the channel, also in our Facebook group as well. So, if you are stuck, yeah, I felt the gameplay was. I need to stop sharing; it's lagging me. But yeah, I felt the gameplay was like when I first started off. I was about an hour, 2 hours in, and I didn't really understand or take enough notice of what I needed to do and where I needed to go. Like you said, there's no map, there's no, and I did get a bit lost. Like the design, yeah, definitely had a bit of a Tomb Raider feel to it. Like, trying to, I didn't realize you had to keep switching realms to actually be able to get out the door. So at the first part, I got to the door, couldn't get out, and I didn't understand what the hell I was having to do. Didn't realize I had to keep flitting in between them. But that comes later on. But I felt the mechanics were a bit tank control-y, especially when you're trying to do them special jumps. But the design, I thought the design of it all looks fantastic. Like the setting, the way it looks. Like we'll go into some of the art, sound, and design later. But the actual, the art, sound, and atmosphere later. But the actual design of it, you kind of understand what they're trying to do, because it was like, it always gives you like a little bit of, I would say, Ocarina of Time vibes, as in you're having like that kind of gameplay. You're having to go certain ways. It's not like open worldy. You're actually being told where you can and can't go. But yeah, I think, like you're saying, a compass, a map, some sort of like, where the hell have I got to go kind of thing. It's not really, doesn't really guide you like you used to nowadays games where you're kind of like handheld quite a bit, aren't you? Whereas back then you weren't handheld about anything. And it was it's quite funny, because I actually went to Asvar's channel and ended up I used it a bit to get myself going, as in where I needed to go and what I needed to do. And it wasn't until I went to his channel, he was like 45 minutes in, I was like 4 hours in, and it was like I've just been like running around doing nothing. But on the Steam version, there's you can get achievements and stuff, so that was quite good. But yeah, it it's just giving you a bit more of like a push in certain directions that you just didn't get. Cool. Yeah, it calls you a video game warrior. But yeah, I did use him to help quite a lot.
So I looked at one guide because I got to a point where I got a bit stuck, and I found the bit of the game I was at, and in the guide, he runs into the room with all the portals and goes to a previous location and teleports there. And I hadn't activated the portal from that location. I was like, oh, where the hell was that? And I spent ages around trying to backtrack to get back to this room that he teleported to in seconds. I was like, oh, for goodness sake.
There you go.
There he goes.
But yeah, but like, as you can see, look at the art, like the gameplay, the mechanics. Like you can see, this is the HD remastered version, so they've done a little bit to it. But especially when you get to this, like your first portal, like your first, and these become quite handy in the future, because a couple of times he was telling me just to like quit out, save, quit, go back to the home screen, and it brings you up here, and it's quicker to get here to teleport than it is to actually physically run all the way through the back and forth through the game.
We've got a question from Toxo here. He mentioned this correct. So, as I discussed the Facebook group, did the spectral realm pause the physical realm's time? Did we ever actually confirm that? Did you test it?
Oh, that's the thing.
It's kind of solid, is it? I don't know if there's a way of.
Yeah.
Is there, feel like something's moving and it stops? I don't know if there was, because you would just like shift blocks, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, because there's a couple of times in later game when you have to drop into the physical realm, and then when you do that, a platform will then it moves down, and then you can jump on it, and then if there's one of the portals that can bring you back, you can do it, and it physically moves you back up like a lift. So there's stuff like that later games.
Yeah,
but yeah,
we'll say yes then. Sounds like a yes.
Yeah, I'd say it kind of like it's like a complete. Sometimes it's a complete alternate time, but
I quite like when you get to the point where you actually have the Soul Reaver as well. Once you defeat Kain, the first battle, and you actually get the Soul Reaver.
Yeah. So yeah, we go on to. So if we go on to the next bits here, so art, sound, and atmosphere. Hang on, I've got to have that on here in a minute. So yeah, like the art style is fantastic, isn't it? It looks like brilliant. Like
it definitely stands out. Looking at that lineup we had from that same year, I can understand why it wasn't a standout game at the time, but it should have been with these sorts of graphics and style at the time.
But yeah, I felt like it. The art side, the sound, the atmosphere of it, the game, the sound was great. The atmosphere, how it it makes you feel like you're in like a how can you say it, like a dead. Do you know what I mean? It's like completely.
What's the place actually called? It's called the
Spiritual Realm, is it?
No, I can't remember what it's called now. I've got it. It was written down here somewhere. I read something about it. Hang on.
You could only go back when you could only go back to the physical realm.
Yeah, Nosgoth was the name of the place. Yeah.
So yeah, it's got its own like story and all that like in there. But yeah, the art, I just felt it like playing it for the first time, like as in like doing a proper playthrough of it and actually dedicating some time to it. It was. See, like saying you can just change. Yeah, there you go. So you see how he changed out, and it all changed with him. It was great it was actually great to play, and like, I felt the art direction and the atmosphere in the game really helps to it, especially like when you get later on some of the boss fights you get.
And actually, one thing I would say for it is the voice acting is actually really good. And like games from that era didn't always have good voice acting. Some of the voice acting is like pretty dire in some cases in like some horror games and stuff. But this had good voice acting, especially the narrator. That narrator who talks to you directly like the Elder God. His voice I thought was brilliant in that. That was really cool. So that's Tony J is the voice of the Elder God, and he was also the voice of Frollo in Hunchback of Notre Dame. And he was the voice of Megabyte in Reboot. If you ever watched the Reboot series,
Oh yeah.
which is really cool. Yeah, so he was the voice of Megabyte in that. But yeah, great voice actor who does that voiceover of the Elder God. I thought that really added something to it.
Well, what did you think about the sound and the atmosphere on
Yeah, I think I definitely like going into the astral plane and having all like the sounds of like the soul swirling around. So kind of, it definitely pulls you in. I think that's something that the game definitely does well. Again, I just came back. The thing that really I think would have made a huge difference in this game, I would have definitely been rating it higher if it wasn't so easy to get lost. The actual gameplay, the art, the sound, the atmosphere, all of those things I think are actually great, but it lets itself down by making it too easy to get lost and not giving you a little guide or something, giving you some, a compass or a map. I mean, I can't remember what somebody said in the chat earlier about ever actually completing the game. Yeah, from Colin Brown saying, love the game and art style music. I have no idea how anyone can complete it without a guide. Here. Games did not hold your hand back then. Happy to have completed it. So yeah, it's definitely lacking in that area. But yeah, art, sound, atmosphere, top notch. I think for a late '90s game.
Yeah, I really agree with you, mate. I felt the same. I felt it could have easily. It's so easy to get lost. Like the fact I was getting lost like straight away. Like didn't really understand the fact that you can only open the doors in the physical realm. You could only little things like that. Like when you first come out, that first door. Where am I going? Right, left? Where's it? There's like, do you know what I mean? I just didn't know. I have a clue what to do or say, like where to go. It was frustrating at times, and I felt like it's like something little, like you're saying, a map or a compass. Do you know what I mean? That would completely change. I think would have made this a lot higher game. Just two things, just a little thing of where you got to go, even if you got to unlock it, like just a bit more direction. That was all.
Like I get that maybe like the intention then is so that part of the challenge is to find where you're supposed to go and you're meant to be exploring rather than like just a walk-through game. Like it's got that backtracking, it's got exploration. But like even big Metroidvania style games will have a map that shows you like where you haven't been yet and things like that you open up. I just felt like that was a missed trick really. They should really, even if it was like you don't have the map, but maybe you can find bits of the map in chests or something. So you have to, like, once you found that section of the map, you could then see where you were. Like something like that. So they didn't make it easy for you. You wouldn't just give you a straight up guide, but you could locate bits of the map that would help you a bit more. But yeah.
So going on to story. And world building, how are you finding the story and world building in this game? Like, so we can talk a bit about the bosses, talk about
it's that's really cool. I think that was the thing that always appealed to me is I don't remember where I saw it, whether it was a trailer, an advert or what, but I remember just seeing the setup in that first opening sequence where Raziel approaches Kain, he rips off his wings and he casts him into like the pits of Hades, whatever it is he goes into, and he sort of emerges as this like wraith and he has like missing jaw and stuff. And I was like, that's really cool. That's a really cool setup. And the whole thing is just a revenge story. And with things like that as well, when you've got like, he was betrayed by his mentor, he was tormented and tortured and he's escaped. You don't need any other explanation than that. It's like, right, you're pissed off. He's a dick. Off you go. Enjoy the game. Do you know what I mean? So the story's quite straightforward. But that's with a game like that, that's what you want. It's like, right, why do I want to kill this guy? Oh, that's a good reason for wanting to kill this guy. I'm now motivated to try and get through the game to do that. But yeah, I think it works really well. And you mentioned the bosses, the fact that he's got all of his, he calls them like his brethren, doesn't he? It's like all his brothers and stuff. Right, his brotherhood. And that's really cool as well, because you get the sense that he knew who they were before, and he's been gone for so long that by the time he's gotten back to their plane, they're warped like monstrous versions of their former selves, and then he's going to fight like a monstrous version of them. I thought it was a really nice touch because it gives you some quite unique boss fights, and the boss fights are quite cleverly laid out as well. How about yourself? How do you find the story?
So I felt the story was like, once I understood and kind of like you said, you get your wings ripped off, and you're trying to go through and get yourself back into how this game is. Like you said, guy's a dick. You want to go and take him out. You're also having to take out your brothers with you. And there's also a bit of puzzle. There's a bit of puzzle game later on. You're having to constantly flip the blocks, have to get them into certain areas and push them in the right way, and you hear a little click if you have got it in the right way.
I agree. I heard all of that.
But yeah, hang on. There's 2 triangles here. There you go.
I dropped. Sorry, my screen crashed.
That's all right. Back in. So yeah, it was yeah, I don't know if Toxo's right, whether playing the first one would have helped, because I haven't played the first one, so I don't. I went
Not
straight
really.
in.
What Legacy of Kain Blood Omen?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely different. Legacy of Blood Omen is like a top-down.
Well.
Yes,
Yeah.
top-down game. It's completely different. It wouldn't make any difference to this game at all. I don't think. Very separate.
Yeah, so I just found like it was a bit like it could have been. It could have been a bit like the fully voice acted, like, do you know what I mean? So all that kind of stuff was good. There was loads of like little the boss fights. I think some of them like the final boss. It just lets the game down. It was so shit.
I'll confess, I did not get as far as the final boss. I didn't finish it. After a while, I was like, I get it. I've seen enough. I get it now. I'm done. And I kind of moved on to some other stuff.
The final boss has like a health portion in the middle, so you can't die, because if you're getting hit and your health's low, you just go back to that middle and then regenerate your health up. And it basically took 3 hits, and he gets further and further out. You're like in like a round, like Roman, like say it reminds me of like a Roman like
a Colosseum,
but a lot smaller scale. And you're like in the middle is like the green health, and then he randomly will appear, and you've got to try and get to him before, and then just whack him once, just whack him, bang, and then it goes, and then run back to the middle, and then it moves again, and then tries to get in, and then quickly run up, whack the net, and it goes up a layer, and at the final one, you've got to like try and guess where he's going to be, get up there, hit him, and then that was it. The game was over, and I was like, what the hell was that? It? And so yeah, the final boss wasn't great. Another boss, you have to like run away and drag him all the way back to the into like this middle where like the flames will get him, and you've got to try and pin him down into the middle, get up, pull the lever, and then the flames burn him to death. But that, like, if you tried hit, like, it was good how you dropped into like the spirit realm, and then he came alive, and then you were like, oh shit, you had to try and like get away from him, kind of thing, and didn't realize that you can't actually like hit and kill him. Like, I just kept dropping back into the spirit realm, and that's where he was, and it was really annoying. And it's not until I thought about it, well, hang on a minute, there was that lever like earlier on with the flames. I'll get back to there and do it. And then another boss was, I think you had to jump from like the pillars, and there was one in the middle, and you just had to like, was it shine the light on him and take him out that way?
I think the furthest boss I got was the one that was like a giant bug thing, and it like laid eggs, and you had to like get the eggs and set them on fire, then throw the eggs back.
Set it on fire and just throw it. Yeah, that was one of the So
was it an earlier boss?
Get the egg, throw it at him, and then later on.
Let us know in the chat how far you got if you've been playing this game with us. How far through the game to get? Just going to answer Toxo's question as well about more like story stuff rather than actual game mechanics. I haven't got as far in Legacy of Kain, as far as I'm aware, Raziel's not in it. I think this is all set long time after. So Legacy of Kain is all about when Kain first dies and he gets resurrected. So the beginning of Legacy of Kain was a normal human, gets killed, gets resurrected as a vampire, and then goes on like a killing rampage to avenge the people that murdered him. So similar kind of tone of game, but you're playing as Kain going around getting revenge rather than Raziel getting revenge on Kain. So I don't think there's any real story spoilers in it. I think you can skip it and go straight to Soul Reaver if you wanted to. So
Toxo's put a couple of bosses felt like they wanted to end their suffering. Yeah, it was like
it was a bit, wasn't it?
I wouldn't say any of them were really challenging at all. I just felt like Especially the final boss was like a bit of a letdown, and then he just gets away anyway. And it's like, so it's like frustrating. You don't even get a chance to kill him, obviously, because Soul Reaver 2. But yeah, I used you obviously got to get your Soul Reaver, and if you went to a campfire, you could then set that on fire. And if you managed to get some of the guys before they hit you, you could actually you could press I think it'd be triangle on the PlayStation, and then it would take them out and blow them up. But you'd have to get to them. Like you could take out enemies in one hit. But I managed to complete it, but I ended up going back to a later save, and then went through on the walkthroughs and managed to get all the extra side bits as well. So I managed to get the sunstone bit where you could say you've got people trying to attack you, you can just do that and it'll just wipe them out. They all just burn to a crisp kind of thing. It took me about 10 hours, I think, 12 hours in the end.
That's pretty quick, really, isn't it? Don't worry to get that quickly.
Yeah, but that was if I played it for an hour and I hadn't got anywhere, I would then just go back and go, right, where are we in the guide? Give me a little push in the right direction, and he'll get me to a certain area, and I'll go, right, okay, now I'm here. I'll try and work out where I got to go. But there was one bit where I had to make this jump before you get the ability to be able to swim. There was one bit where I managed to get on this. You had to climb up, jump on these three pillars, it's like you're above a church, which is the wooden back beams. Get over all the way, get into this tiny little gap on the left. There was 2 enemies in there. If you take them out, and then you get to the end, and then you had to jump on the outside of this church, and then do a big jump, floating jump, to get over on top of this dome bridge bit. And so many times I'd get to the jumps to get out, and because of the tanky controls, I would misland it and then just slide down to the bottom, and then I've got to go through the whole thing again. Mate, I was losing my shit for that.
There's a bit which was similar to that where I think you had to go, there's a whole sequence you had to do, to go into one room, change to the astral plane, get up onto a high ledge, get across the room, and then land across to move something. And then you have to go back into the real plane and then go back around loop again to then get onto a ledge or something. And that last jump, I think I went to go jump across the ledge and I just fell down. And I had to go all the way around and start the whole sequence again. It takes a few minutes. And dang. Yeah, I think I only fell off once, but I could, feel your pain with those sorts of bits.
But no, then I felt some of the actual, there was a lot of there was a couple of bits where you get in with the block, especially to get the sunstone, the different stones. You had to do a lot of block puzzly stuff, which once you work out that you can actually hold crouch and it lifts up, and then press the button, it will lift it up onto the top of another one. So once you work out the different style, you have to try and flip them to face the right way, because there's this one where you've got to get them in the right sequence, and there's all the sequences around you, and it's a bit of a pain. But once you work it out, that took me a while. But you'd be pushing it in. If you didn't hear the click, you haven't done it right, or it's not in the right one. And you find yourself looking at the patterns. And I felt luckily I was playing that on the HD remaster, so I could just click the analog, click it in and out, and I could actually see. I had a better view. Whereas when I clicked it out for the PlayStation graphics, I was like, oh mate, that is kind of hard to work out what the way the pattern should be. But yeah, I felt it is a good story. It sets you up nicely for the second one. I haven't played the second one, even though I do have it. But yeah.
Do you think you'll like to play the second one now that you've played the first one?
Yes, I would. Yeah. I need to get out and play it. But yeah, Tales, John and Waste, thank you so much for that, mate. That is
thank you very much.
Yeah, and I just wanted to know, is there anyone in the chat who doesn't have this game? Please let me know in the comments. So yeah, it's I felt it was, for you when you think back to its time, 1999. It's a big game. It's not one you're going to complete in seconds. like because you don't know exactly where you got to go unless there was some decent guides back out then on the PlayStation. But
I think around that time as well, we were entering the time where there were guides online a bit more. Then, like maybe not so much
99.
like
We were year
guides,
9
but
at school, so I think
yeah,
the internet was just starting. Like it was just starting to come out properly then, wasn't it?
I think we kind of had things similar to like game FAQs back then, so you could find some guides people have written. So yeah, she might get somewhere. I mean, we wouldn't have video guides and stuff back then, but it definitely would have some written ones.
But yeah, I felt if the boss battles were a bit more challenging because they were like painstakingly easy. It wasn't like there was. I never died on a boss challenge once. Like
no, I don't think I struggled with the bosses either. I did get through the game, but I did beat a couple of bosses. I was like, oh, that was easy.
Especially like when one of the bosses, you literally just got to run away from him, get him into the area, and just pull a lever, and that's him dead. It was like
that's like one of the early ones, isn't it? That guy.
Yes, so it was like mate was like chasing you around, but yeah, it was really weird. It was really weird. And then the fact that like when you ever see the humans, they get bow down on their knees and put their arms out, like
that's weird. That didn't happen to me. But I was watching some of the footage of people Azar's trailer gameplay guides. They did it in the remaster, and then you're saying they did it for you.
Yeah, they didn't
do it in the Evercade version. The Evercade version, they don't like kneel down and do that.
But yeah,
so I don't know whether that's because you're playing the remaster and like the Evercade port is the original.
But yeah, they were like put their hands out and stuff, and then you would then just like walk past, like just because there was an achievement not to kill any like humans. So one of the achievements was then one of them was just like pick them up and throw them drop them down, and then once you got the ability to be able to go through the walls, that kind of like changed the game. That did then once you could finally get through like the metal railings, stuff that was blocked, then kind of nothing's really blocked off to you. So yeah, I would say, what was your favorite upgrade? I don't know if you managed to upgrade all the
I didn't really. I think just when you actually get Soul Reaver and you actually get like the blade, and then you can kill people that as long as you've got a full soul what's it called, like the spiral thing you get, as long as you've got full soul energy, you can just kill them with that, which I found so much easier than having to like find a spear or throw them into a spike or into light or water. And I thought that's animation for that was pretty cool as well. Like, you do your combo and like stab them with the Soul Reaver and they like exploded. So yeah, I think just having the Soul Reaver was probably my favorite.
Yeah, I would say having the Soul Reaver is obviously the main thing in the game, and I think that was quite good. The swimming ability was good once you could finally swim. So if you did drop into the water, you didn't automatically go change realms. You could then actually swim, and then you could swim down, swim around, and then there was also little hidden bits and stuff everywhere as well. Being able to get through the walls or get through the barriers was, like I said, kind of opened up the game then, because but you could only do that one when you're in the spirit realm, so you couldn't just go through any. You'd have to then come out, and then you could then get through it. And it was a bit of a weird animation it does as well, like the arms, and then you like phase through like the bars. And then I think when you can turn the Soul Reaver, when you can go up to a campfire and actually put it on fire, that's pretty cool, because there's an achievement on the couple of the achievements were impale 10 enemies, burn up 10 enemies. So they would burn if you could get them into like the sun, they would burn, wouldn't they? If they could get them to follow you into like into a light path, they would burn. And then another one was it use weapons as well. So yeah, it was it definitely, the Soul Reaver is definitely the best weapon, but you could only have that when you had full health, and you'd take if you took one touch, it then disappeared, and you're like, because with that, like I said, you could press one button, if you timed it right, it would just take it off. But yeah. I think it was Nick.
Yeah, so I don't know. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Because he said he's ever not played it. Yeah, Nick's pointed out the day he said he's not actually played the game.
Yeah, well, get in
Can
contact
say
with
yeah,
me.
never played it.
So yeah, get him to get in contact with me because I'll give him a Steam code of it so he can play through it. And
Okay.
so Dave, I'll send you that later, but I will get you a
Yeah.
Steam code for the game so you can play it later. But yeah,
So, question for you then: if you like this game, what's another game that's similar to this that you would recommend that you think maybe did it a bit better?
oof. Similar to this, but did it better? That's a tough question. I would say, when did Resident Evil 1 come out?
About the same time, yeah, 1999.
Yeah, I would say
Resident Evil.
either Resident Evil or your Ocarina of Time, because it's like that adventure, but that's more linear, I found. Whereas in like you're kind of like directed through it. Yeah, I would say Resident Evil, tank control-y, but not an adventure though. It's not like, because this is more of like a Majora's Mask maybe. Looks like it's,
See,
like
I feel like it's very similar in playstyle to God of War, because you've got like the fighting, the moving blocks around and puzzle solving, and then big boss fights. So it feels quite like God of War to me, but I think God of War did it better.
slashy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more hack and slashy as God of War, but I feel like God of War had a similar style and premise and characters and stuff, but did it better. Not quite the same. Yeah. Well, no, when was the first one? Was the first one PS2?
Yeah.
So a bit later on.
2 on PS2, so it was a bit later.
Yeah.
But yeah, around at the same time, it's kind of hard to say what else.
Yeah, not necessarily at the same time. I said, is there another game that's similar to this that you think provides?
Like you said, there's some big games there. Tony Hawk's, Final Fantasy. It's kind of come out at a tough time. There's not as much out at that time, is there?
I do think it's underrated because of that. Do you know what I mean? I think it's underrated because it was overshadowed by some of the games that came out the same year.
It'd be interesting to see what the actual sales were like, or they might not even have that information.
Look up some stuff. I tell you what, another game that I've started playing recently, which I'll probably talk about with some other streams, is South to Midnight. And that...
Yeah, that's on Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. So I started playing that, and that's really good, actually. It's similar in playstyle, like you'll have areas where you've got to try and like get around platforms and like move things about to be able to get up on ledges and that sort of thing. And you have these little areas you do little boss fights and battles, and then go back to like your platforming things. But it's all forward. You're not exploring a big area. It's very linear. And there's an option where you can push down the R3 button, and it creates like a guide of where you're supposed to run. So it's literally the opposite. Sorry, like you go this way, you go over there. You go up here.
Yeah, well, they've learned from them, can't they?
You know exactly where to go all the time, and it's just a little bit more streamlined to enjoy the game and not get lost. But in terms of how it plays quite similarly, strangely enough. But
yeah, like Toxo, same as me, Toxo. I enjoyed it with help because I did need help, and I finished it with help.
I think it's more fun just knowing what you're supposed to do in an odd way. Like what I would normally like to do with a game, especially a game with that sort of length in that sort of era, was go in blind, not look at any guides, and experience the game as it's intended from the creators, and just enjoy the game. And then once I've finished it, go back and then use a guide and play it again, saying, right, where's all the collectibles, where's all the secrets, and get somebody to like hold my hand through it. But plays like this is like, okay, yeah, I spent an hour running around a cave. No, look at a guide.
Because that's what I found was frustrating. Is that first bit that they just showed, I showed earlier, where you changed realm. I spent ages trying to jump up all the way around, that, trying to make my way up, and and it got to a bit where it started to annoy me, but. David, as you're there, David, have you got this game, David? Because let me know if you have or not. But yeah, I found it was like, going blind makes me laugh. But yeah, I know what you mean. You want to go in, play the game it's intended, work it out yourself. But Triangle Faces Bird Box Challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
quite taken literally. If I might go on a dance stage Euromix with blindfold. See how I get on.
apparently what's this Darksiders 2. Apparently
What is this?
Darksiders, especially Darksiders 2.
Okay, yeah.
Like this.
Ollie's not
Yeah,
here, so other Ollie,
know,
obviously. But
I picked it up, but I haven't really played through Darksiders. But so just rounding up, each game we're going to do this: avoid, play, or must play. And what I'm going to do is I'm also going to put this in the chat, so you guys need to answer the poll.
I definitely agree with Colin Brown here. 20-year-old me would have played without a guide. Now my gaming time is so limited, I need a game that flows nicely. And I think that's definitely a thing as well. I found exactly the same. Now I'm a bit older, I don't have much gaming window to play. I don't want to spend the time figuring it out. I just want to get on with it. So I'd much rather have a guide just to speed things up a bit. It's also why I like things like the Evercade and emulators where you can do save states. And it's not necessarily about cheating to beat the game quicker. It's about, okay, if I get to a hard level, I'm going to save at the start. So I don't have to go all the way back and do it again. And it's just about time. So it's like, well, actually, I've got less time to beat this game. If I can play it with save states, I can beat it quicker. If I can play it with a guide, I can beat it quicker, and then I can move on to my next game. Because also now we've completely shifted from having loads of gaming time and a limited number of games to now having a limited game time and a huge library of games at our disposal, with like Game Pass and PlayStation Network and Steam sales of like huge bundles. Like it's the opposite; it's completely flipped. So now I'm like, you know what? Give me a guide. Hold my hand through the game just so I can finish it and move on to the next thing.
Yeah. So, how are you feeling about? I feel exactly the same. Like you said, when you get older, you don't have all the time in the world. I'm so jealous of my son who can just sit up there playing games constantly.
The weird thing is now, like, for younger kids now will play games that have no end. They'll play like Fortnite and Roblox.
Yeah.
Minecraft's like, you can't beat those games.
Mine
You're
is
just going to
crap.
play them forever. Yeah. Sandbox games.
Yeah, which I just don't get it. Right, I'm just in the middle of paying for this code for David Newland.
Dave said, thanks for the generous offer. We'll buy you a copy of Stroke the Beaver on PS5, which is absolutely
I'm all right, mate.
You're right, Dave. You don't want that blunders.
I'll give that away to you, Triangle. You can have that if you want.
All right. Okay. I'll take
So I've just put the poll in the chat.
Right.
At the minute, 60% are for play.
Okay. Gonna put cast my own vote.
7%.
Oh, we have got some must play in there.
Plays.
Some people said this is a must play game. Interesting.
Wow.
Right. What is your? Do you want to go first? Is this
And now, just if you can go while I pay for this quick.
Okay. Right. I voted this a play. I don't think it's a void. I think it's a good game. I think it's worth giving a go, but I wouldn't class it as a must play. It's a classic. I think it's but it's worth a look. Definitely worth a little go. And I think the main theme of this whole talk has been use a guide, because you don't get a map. So if you use a guide, you'll probably have more fun. And I think actually your approach, Blood, sounds the best. Of attempt to do it without a guide, just so you can experience the game properly. But if you get stuck, don't waste hours running around a cave. Use a guide, get yourself into the next bit, and then maybe drop off the guide and carry on playing it yourself. But as soon as you get stuck, just check a guide, because otherwise you might spend ages trying to find a random door that's at a weird camera angle that you can't see. So get the most enjoyment out of it, play it that way, I say.
Do you know what? 100% I agree with you. I would say the same. I'll say it's definitely a play for me. It's not a must play game. It's not an avoid game. You could definitely play it. And like you said, I picked it up for peanuts. I picked it up for like £4 HD remasters and could just play it on my Steam Deck and enjoy it. Like you said, I tried my best trying to play through it, get stuck, quickly check the old guide, then jump back in, try it again, get stuck. Do you know what I mean? That's basically rinse and repeat. Because it then took you to places where you could find the different shrines and the different stuff you could then use, and it kind of opened the game up, and I felt it became a lot more enjoyable. So definitely a play for me. Just have a look.
Toxo's review there said between must and play. 4 triangles, nearly great, better than good. I like that.
4 out of 5.
Nearly great, better than good. Yeah.
I nearly put the triangle as a mark, but Tim wanted to do this instead. So
I thought I'd give it a go. Avoid play, must play. But if you want to do triangles, give us some. How many triangles out of 5 would you give it? What about if we're going to go to that system instead? How many triangles would you give it? Do you think?
What, out of 5?
Yeah.
I'd give it 3.5 triangles out of 5.
I think I'd give it a 3. I think 3 triangles out of 5. Worth a go, but I don't think it's I don't think it's a banger.
So would you not like try and finish it with a guide? Oh yeah.
No, I think I've experienced everything the game has to offer at this point. It's like it's just got a bit samey for me. It's like, the thing is where it's hard because again, if I played this years ago when I didn't have a huge library, I would have stuck with it.
You wouldn't. Yeah, you said you wouldn't have had anything else. Did you?
Yeah, now it's just like I've got Game Pass, I've got PlayStation Plus, and I've got so many games I want to try, and I've been playing that south to midnight, and that's really fun. And I've got loads of games on my list of these all look really good. I just want to have the time to crack on and play some of them. I think as well, I'm so stretched thin. Got Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, VR. Got my PS5 VR. Got my Oculus Quest 2. Got my handhelds. Got the Steam Deck. I'm like, how am I going to get through all these games? I spend more time talking about games and doing posts on all the stuff about games than actually playing them nowadays. It's like, I actually want to spend some time playing these things.
Well, that's what happens when you get older, mate. So, Dave Newland, I've just sent you a Steam key for the HD remasters 1 and 2. So give it a go. You can then update us in the game club bit on Facebook group. But
got 3 triangles there from Mr. Craddock, and or Dave Newland's equivalency of a quarter of a Toblerone. That's good.
So let's quickly check the poll. 78% said play, 22% said must play, and no one said avoid. So
pretty good
to
actually.
Me, that's best.
Yeah.
No worries, David, we got you.
Yeah.
So this leads me on to the next game.
What's it gonna be?
So that is our first one done. That took a bit longer as we did have a couple of trouser accidents last week. So it was nearly about 2 months. But
that time you can probably tell from my voice that I'm recovering from a really bad trouser accident that took me out for a while that has affected my ability to speak.
Are you able to get up the or do I do the video? While I do the video, can you get up the games that were there to be nominated?
Oh,
if you know what I mean?
don't even know. Okay, should we have a quick look at that first?
Yeah, so while you do that, I can.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so you can then see what the games that you nominated.
What were the options? So the nominees were.
As it's coming up to spooky season.
We had some spooky options. I'm scrolling down through the group. I think we had quite a lot of we've a lot of activity in the group, so I have to scroll quite far down. I might have to do where is it? I can't find it. Blanners. Let's do a search.
I know there was 2. I know 3 of them. Dedius.
Yeah. Dedius is 1.
Dead Space.
It's got to be here somewhere.
Resident Evil.
Is there a way to filter by polls or something in here?
Yeah, I think you can just search your name, can't you? In that.
If I do look at me, I can see what I've posted specifically.
Yeah, and then you'll find it.
It's just gone.
Totally all play and let us know. Yeah, and then Toxo's put the round health bar meter is the physical realm, Jaded is the spectral realm. I thought it was just trying to be the Dreamcast logo.
So the choices were Resident Evil, the first one, Silent Hill 1, Dead Space, Amnesia, Limbo, Dedius, or Splatterhouse.
Ooh. And I'll reveal
the winner.
Yeah, with this video. So, out of all of them, what do you think it was? I'm about to play a little video I made earlier. Here it is. There you have it.
Okay.
The second Game Club game is Dead Space.
Nice.
Um,
Have you played? Are you a Dead Space fan? Have you played them before?
I am a massive Dead Space fan. I have completed it. I watched the anime of it. I read the books of it. I think I even got a couple of comics on it as well that came out. But they've done some anime movies which are fantastic. I got right into the lore. I felt when EA took over, they ruined it. But the first time I played, I remember just taking a punt on this game. I heard some good stuff about it. Didn't know a lot like what to expect. And at the time, I was living at my parents' house. And I had a sub, and I used to sit on the subwoofer. I used to live in like the loft, so I could have stuff as loud as I wanted. No one cared. I used to sit on the sub, and no joke, playing that first opening part of the game, where you're in the spaceship, and then like the air comes in, and then that's when you first see this first bad guy in that. I had the surround sound going. I was in the pitch black, sat on the subwoofer, and it was like, and like the whole everything shook, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck is this? And yeah, and from then on, I just absolutely fell in love with it. Absolutely loved it. They released the Wii game. They released 3 of these games, didn't they? Dead Space 2 and 3, but EA took over from then. But yeah, I'm so happy Dead Space. If you don't have it, I went into CEX this afternoon. You can pick up the original for £2, which I think's an absolute bargain if you don't have it. Also, if you've got an Xbox and you've got Game Pass, it's on there for free.
Yeah.
It was a free game a couple of months back on PlayStation Plus, wasn't it, Tim?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I play their remaster. I think the originals are available, and then you got the remaster as well. Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be interesting. Like, yes, Rob, you can play us on anything. Doesn't matter. You don't have that game. That's all right. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Yeah, it was such a good game. I can't wait. Which
and again, the Game Club's going to keep going around. So if we pick a game that you don't have or you don't want to pick up, you can always just join us on the next one and play the games. It's just about, getting involved when you can and joining in to play. Yeah, Oscar, definitely. We'll do that next time, Nick. We'll get an envelope. Yeah, it's free on PS Network. I think I've got that on the PlayStation 5 from a recent one of those. So I'm going to play the remaster. So I have played a little bit of the original, but I didn't finish it. So I'm going to go back.
Nick hasn't played it.
This is going to be my first proper run through of it.
Oh mate, I'm so jealous.
I have played it. I didn't get very far, and I started playing something else and didn't come back to it yet. So this gives me a good excuse to actually play this properly.
Yeah, which systems are and was it available on? It's available on, like I said, CEX £2 on the 360. It's on PlayStation 3. It's on PS. I think the remake's PS4, and it's all on PS Plus as well at the same time. And it is currently on Xbox Game Pass. And there was a PS5 version I picked up that was £15, and I think the Xbox version is that as well. And CEX at the minute, it is top tier. It is like out in space. No one can hear you scream, as they say. And yeah, I can't wait to play that opening scene again and absolutely poo my pants. But just in time for spooky.
They don't have a trouser accident because
have my first trouser accident.
We'll all play Dead Space, have trouser accidents, and then there'll be no one here to cover our content. So
PS3, yeah, as I said, Toxo, it was £2 in CEX in the Eastleigh one. So if you haven't got it and you haven't got one near you, I'll buy it and send it to you. But yeah, it is. I'm really intrigued to get this new link going in the Facebook group, and then seeing everyone, especially like the ones people who haven't played it before. It is I love it, absolutely love it. I'm so happy. What's this? I picked it up after recommendations on TV, YouTube video. Oh, okay,
nice.
Yeah,
awesome.
Right, let's have a look. So, just wrap it up then, Tim.
Yeah. Well, yeah, thanks. Yeah, this has been a great first edition, I think, of Game Club. Yeah, thank you everyone for actually joining in this, for these guys who have played the game. And yeah, hopefully some of you guys can play Dead Space with us as well. Check the link at the top. Join the Facebook group if you're not in it. And yeah, we'll be posting about our progress throughout the game over the next few weeks. That's going to lead us into spooky season. So we'll be playing that through October. And we'll then post another game club. We'll do another vote for the next game. We'll do another stream. We'll share the link. If anyone wants to come on and join us, you're welcome. You know, all you guys in the chat, you're welcome to actually come on and join us on camera. You don't have to be a content creator or anything like that. Just play the game and come and chat with us.
Have a mobile phone, mate. You can do it from your phone.
If anyone wants to come on with us, you know, have a bit of a joke and a laugh with us talking about games, then yeah, we wanted to build this show as being like a community thing for you guys that, you know, contribute to our socials and Facebook group and join us each week on our other shows, give you something to be involved in a bit more. So do feel free to join us in these chats and get on the stream with us.
And saying that, our next show this coming Monday, do you know what it is, Tim?
It's uncensored, and then we're going to have Timmy's Tanks. And what happened? Was it last week we got?
Yeah, last time we got iced by the chat.
Yeah, so not last week, but last month, I should say. Yeah, we got like one shot or two shot, I think, 2 in a row. So we'll have to make a comeback on Timmy's Tanks next week.
So yeah, so we will see you guys then. Bring up Dave Newton in the track for us, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Yeah.
Peace.